Okay, hey, friend. I have the pleasure of interviewing today with Tropical Escape. Rebecca, tell us a little bit about yourself.
For sure. So, hello, Facebook fam. It's so great to join here with you guys. Thanks for the opportunity, Luana. It's always such a pleasure. So, like she said, my name is Rebecca, and I work with Tropical Escape Resort Homes. So, we are a property management company in the heart of Champions Gate, Florida. And we have been around for almost 14 years now, really doing what we do best, which is property management. And that's not in a cocky way, it's just in a super confident, exciting way, because it's really what we've dedicated ourselves to this entire time. So I'm the business development manager, and my job is basically to inform investors and anybody really who's interested in purchasing, whether it's realtors or team members, what it means to invest in the area of Central Florida, but particularly in Champions Gate. So we love what we do, and through management, we've actually tapped into the furnishing side of things because we understand the value of marketing a home with good furnishings. And so we've been able to actually partner with a sister furnishing company and be able to furnish vacation homes as well, which has increased the productivity and occupancy of our homes. So it's super exciting stuff.
Guys, so Rebecca is the and she's definitely always my go-to when I have any questions about property management as far as vacation rentals go. And I know it may seem like a crazy time to be involved in the vacation rental market, but it could also be a really advantageous time to be involved in this market. So we just wanted to catch up today to learn a little bit about what's going on in the vacation Florida side of the real estate business. So if you have any comments or you have any questions, feel free to drop those down there. And if we have some time at the end, we will definitely get to those. So first of all, I know everybody doesn't understand what the words short-term rental or short-term management means. So what exactly is short-term management? What's a short-term rental?
For sure. So short-term rental management basically is anything from one night, usually up to 60 nights is what most people consider short-term. And really, as a short-term management company, it's being able to process guests and be their point of contact from start, so from marketing to finish, which is when they leave the home after a wonderful vacation, right? And so the short-term rental market is different from the long-term in that a long-term requires a lease and you now have a tenant that occupies the home. Whereas short-term, it's more of a contract based on a vacation time period. The average vacation stay is about 10 days, depending on where the guest comes from. It can fluctuate, of course. But the short-term rental market is basically, think vacation homes, or Airbnb is what most people limit it to. But it's any rentals that come from different countries or even different states, which we'll talk a little bit about that later on, how COVID has affected where people are coming from. That's kind of what the short-term market in a glimpse looks like.
Okay, so basically you guys are taking care of everything from start to finish, and making the management process really simplified for the owners. I know a lot of the owners for vacation rental homes are not necessarily from here. Sometimes it's a second home for them. In which case, it can be difficult to try and manage those things on your own, and definitely can affect that return on investment. So it's definitely a great decision to get a management company into the mix to better maintain your property. So all the things going on with COVID right now, are vacation rentals actually even allowed in Florida right now, as of today?
Right. So that's a great question. And I'm going to cater to trying to answer for Central Florida and Champions Gate primarily, because the Palm Beach County and things like that, their limitations are kind of different and varying. So in the Champions Gate area, yes, they're absolutely allowed. And the beautiful thing is that what's important is just being educated, right? Which is why we so appreciate this opportunity, because if you know the market, if you know what's happening, then you can fully enjoy it, whether you're a guest or an investor. But yes, they are allowed. And all we say is to be conscious of your county or your state's regulations if you're a traveler, because you may not be allowed to travel, right? But that has nothing to do with the actual homes. So we can rent our homes as long as we stick to the protocols, which we can talk about in just a minute. But yes, they're totally allowed in Central Florida at the moment.
Perfect. And for those of you that don't know where Champions Gate is kind of like a little hub that's fairly close to Disney, definitely close to all the golf courses. It's kind of like Osceola, Polk, and Orange, where they all sort of meet up. Champions, technically Osceola County, but it's the ideal location if you're looking for a Disney vacation. So definitely the go-to area around here. So speaking of ideal vacation, who is your ideal vacation owner client?
Okay, so I love this question because an ideal vacation rental owner can still be unique in your own way, right? So I have some vacation rental owners that are super involved in their property. We have like weekly conversations. They go into their portal all of the time. They want to be involved in their vacation rental and what's going on. I have some vacation rental homeowners who have never seen their home. They're just investors internationally who have purchased a home and we just make it happen for them. They don't have to blink. We pay their bills out of their rentals. We deposit money into their bank accounts, and that's just how it works. Now, ideally, as a property management company, I think the most important characteristic of a vacation rental owner is that that he or she listen to our expertise, because we've been doing this for a while. And if we can recommend the way you're furnished, or whether or not you need a game room, or what to expect, right? Establishing realistic expectations, number one, being a homeowner who listens to the advice of the experts. And I think number three is communicating your perspective on what's going on as a homeowner. So I think those three things are so vital because we can be a partner. Really, we don't want homeowners to feel like we do everything or they have to do everything. This is a partnership, and you're basically investing into your own small business, and we are here to walk you through that process. So definitely an owner who has realistic expectations, who listens to our expertise, and who communicates back is the ideal owner for us.
And guys, I think if you're ever considering a vacation home, do your homework up front. Don't buy this house and expect someone to work miracles with it. Whoever you're working with, whatever realtor, make sure they've partnered up with someone that's knowledgeable, that knows what product, what home they can actually get rented for you. You can't just buy a lemon and expect people to work miracles. So there's definitely that too. I'm going to say that because that happens to us all the time. Like, we have this house, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work for our market. So make sure you're partnering with someone experienced. Like Rebecca said, it is a small business, and it's a huge decision. So make sure that you're buying something that's worth investing in, basically.
Well, I love that you said that, Luana, because honestly, this is a low risk, long-term investment. And I tell that to our clients all the time who sit down with me and say, help me understand what I'm getting into. And my thing is, it's a low risk investment. So it's very difficult to lose. And it's very important to see that when you have low risk, you have a long-term return. You can't expect to make $50,000 net the first month, because that would require extremely high risk, right? So in a low risk investment, you are growing your business over time, and it's becoming established. The more it becomes established, the more it produces. And if you have that perspective, you will be satisfied. So you'll enjoy your investment if you have that perspective in mind.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. So speaking of realistic expectations, how has the vacation market been affected on the rental side?
Absolutely. So the vacation rental market has been impacted in a very interesting way because it kind of fluctuated. So if we're thinking March through May, it was heavily impacted because at that point, vacation rentals were actually not allowed in the area for a time frame there based on local government regulations. And people were just not even allowed to travel. So we had a lot of homes who just suffered kind of an empty calendar during those months. However, an interesting perspective here is that that's not forever. And as a property management company, we knew that. So our executive team really tapped into plans that could reach out to different guests. So let me explain what that means. Usually we have a very high UK travel market, for example, or international travelers. Well, we had to really take into consideration that the international travel was what was most impacted by COVID. So instead of getting affected in a way where we're now empty, it's wait, let's change who we attract as guests. So we started reaching out to national travelers from the States that were kind of sick and tired of being quarantined for 60 to 90 days and are looking for a little oasis without having to leave the United States, right? And so being able to reach out to local travelers, by local, I mean within the United States from different states, has really allowed the vacation rental market to continue when you have a property manager that does their homework, right? So even though occupancy has been affected, we actually have still been able to rent really, really well. The rental rate per night is something I do want to talk about that has lowered, but it's temporary. And we tell our owners, trust us with these ebbs and flows of dynamic pricing, because if there is a lot of supply and not that much demand because people are still hesitant about traveling, well, then the rates are going to go down temporarily, and then things are going to improve and get better, right? And so we are seeing that the rental market nightly rates have been impacted temporarily, but we're already seeing, we have in our company alone over 6,000 nights booked for 2021 at good rates, like at the rates that they're supposed to be. So that shows us that this is just temporary. And if you trust us, we will continue to flourish and get even better than we were before.
Yeah, I think everybody has to get a little creative with business now, because everybody's saying it, right? Unprecedented times. This is nothing that anyone could have prepared for. So this is when that local knowledge and that industry knowledge and that experience is really going to come into play, and that's really what separates, the average from the I would say the superior. The ones that are figuring out how to make it work. So that's really great to hear for the clients that you guys have. Um, Making changes so necessary right now across the board for our businesses, right? So what changes can guests expect to see in your vacation homes?
That is so important. Such a good question. So Tropical Escape does follow the VRMA and CDC cleaning guidelines. So that is super important, because the cleaning guidelines are really what gives us the confidence that our team will be protected, as well as our guests, as well as our homeowners. So simple things that are really not simple, but super vital are cleaners wearing their PPE, which basically includes masks, gloves, but are not limited to those items, as well as our maintenance personnel wearing that when servicing the homes. Homes are also cleaned with CDC approved Ecolab products. So just think hospital grade is like the best way to explain that. And that includes like peroxide multi-surface cleaners and disinfectants that are EPA approved. The 65 disinfecting heavy duty acid bathroom cleaner, EPA approved. So all of those items that really, even though they might be more of an initial investment, is worth it for our guests, because our guests are important for us. So all linens and towels being thoroughly washed at the recommended temperature, trash bags being bagged and placed in the removal location. So all of those items that could sometimes be overlooked if you don't make it a priority are really the things that are making it so important for us as a team to make sure we establish. And then truthfully, we're very aware of partiers. So we have precautions in place to avoid unnecessary parties, right? So if we're thinking birthday party or anniversary, that's a little different. But when we're talking kind of illegal parties and things like that, that unfortunately are very widespread during difficult times, because people kind of go crazy sometimes. Avoiding that also helps us take care of the home, as well as the future guests that are going to be coming in.
I'm so glad to hear that you guys are taking the guest safety and making that top priority, and team safety. I know it's top of mind for everybody. I think you don't realize how many things you actually touch, so you got to get down to the nitty gritty and have those good systems in place for sure.
For sure.
I get one question here. It looks like, can a short-term owner use his or her rental?
Such a good question. So yes, a short-term owner can use his or her rental. And really all we ask is for that third, I don't know who remembers, or it would be super cool to be able to get like feedback as we're going to see who can do a little question and answer. But the third thing that we are looking for in an ideal homeowner is communication. So if you plan on coming and using your own home, absolutely, you've made a huge investment. Just let us know, okay? Because really it's your home. So if we have a guest in there and you decide you need to come last minute, we're gonna make it happen, right? But the benefit of having a portal that you have direct access to, which is part of our management structure, you can go in there, you can make your own reservation, and you can block your dates out, and there's no double booking. Everybody's happy, and you as a homeowner can enjoy your wonderful investment. The only thing you would pay as a homeowner would be the cleaning at the end, which is pretty much expected, right? To make sure that the home is ready for the next guest. But other than that, it's your home. So of course you deserve the use.
Okay.
Great question, Scott.
Yeah. So are there any travel restrictions within the rentals right now? Or is everybody's welcome at this point, correct?
Right. So the travel restrictions you kind of have to look at in two ways. Is it travel restrictions from the kind of incoming or receiving country or county, or the one that's going out, right? So who's allowed to leave? So there are definitely restrictions in different countries still, but there are no travel restrictions right now for people trying to enter the area of Central Florida for vacation. What we recommend is you making sure you Google travel restrictions for your particular kind of country or state of departure, to make sure, for example, that no mandatory quarantine is necessary and things like that. Because if you don't plan for that, then it can be a little surprise if you have to come back from vacation and do another mandatory vacation for 2 weeks. So that's kind of the only thing we say, watch out for your local guidelines for sure.
Okay, perfect. And what tips do you have for vacation home owners right now? I know there's a lot of like anxiety out there, a lot of unknowns. So what do you recommend?
Well, the first thing is take a deep breath. Okay, so everybody is going through this, and I love, like, I wish I could just hold people's hand and just say, like, take a deep breath with me. It's going to be okay, and that's honestly the first tip. The next is make sure you have a property management company you can trust, because if you have a property management company that doesn't communicate or that doesn't plan ahead, it can be very stressful to be not there and think, what is going on with my home? What is going on with everything? Like, what am I going to do? And all these questions come up. So have a property management company that you can really ask questions to, and that they will be there for you, that you can trust during this time. So take a deep breath, have a property management company you can trust. And honestly, the next and most important thing for me would be understand that it's temporary. Sometimes we make very abrupt decisions based on a momentary circumstance, and then we kind of opt out of a really great opportunity in the future. For example, people who are looking to invest might say, I'm not going to invest right now because everything is so crazy. When the reality is, this is a great time to invest because this is temporary. And once things go back to normal, prices for acquiring a vacation home will rise again. Interest rates will rise again. But this is all temporary. So I always say it is a good time to invest. And homeowners who already have a vacation home, do not make an abrupt decision because it's a little difficult right now. Because some homeowners are like, maybe I should sell, or maybe I should get out of this business. No, this is a good business. It's a great business, and it's going to get better because it already has. So those are my 3 tips. I guess I always like doing things in 3. So number 1 is take a deep breath. Number 2, trust your vacation property manager. And if you don't have one that you trust, my information will be here at the end, and I would love to have a conversation with you. And 3 is do not make any abrupt decisions on a momentary circumstance or a temporary circumstance.
Yeah, no decisions. I couldn't agree with you more. And then any vacationers, what advice would you have for them? 3.
Yeah, 3, right? Oh my gosh, now I have to stick to 3. So for our travelers, I would honestly say, like I said earlier, educate yourself on your local guidelines. That's super important. Educate yourself on your local guidelines. The second one I would say is take it serious, but still have fun, right? So I always say, like, this is a real thing, but if you're careful, it's not the end of the world, right? So a lot of people are impacted by this, and I think it's something to take into consideration that this COVID-19 is a real thing. But if you apply, social distancing, if you apply mask use whenever necessary, you can then come home to your vacation home and spend a really great time with your private pool and your fully equipped kitchen and your theater room and your game room. Like, you can fully enjoy all of these items as long as you're careful between your car, the grocery store, and your vacation home, right? Or wherever you choose to go.
We have sunshine.
Yeah, we have a lot of sunshine. And I would say the third thing is probably be patient with businesses, because this is very new for everyone. And so if someone doesn't pick up your phone call right away, or if someone's email doesn't seem to give you all of the answers right away, even business owners are just as nervous as you are about what to do. So just be patient, be kind. I know that's not really my job to tell you, but you asked. So I just say it's always better if we're kinder with one another, and we can really enjoy the full experience a little bit more.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so grateful for you taking the time to connect with everyone today and kind of share what's going on in your world. If Rebecca or Tropical Escape is maybe a fit for you, or you have some questions that maybe she could answer, you like what she had to say, where can people find you?
For sure. It's such an honor again, Luana. We thank you so much. So we are Tropical Escape Resort Home. So our email is actually getresults at tropicalescapevh.com. So I'm actually going to send it to you, Luana. I don't know if there's a way to kind of post it afterwards, but my email is getresults@tropicalescapevh.com.
I will share.
Yeah, if you want to share that, and I'll also share my phone number. Again, my name is Rebecca. So if you just kind of Google Tropical Escape Resort Homes, we'll be there available. And if you give us a call, I'm actually your point of contact. So you'll get a call from me if you reach out to us. You'll get an email from me if you have WhatsApp, if you have WeChat, if you speak Spanish, if you speak Portuguese. I'll be the one reaching out to you. And if you speak Mandarin or anything else, we will find a representative to communicate some translation. So we really are here for you. And the most important thing is there's no question that is too much or unnecessary. We want you to feel confident. So get results at tropicalescapevh.com or that phone number there that Luana will post. And we are here for you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got some great information. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.